Yo, we're live. This is the behvppy Central live show, episode 10. And today we are having an exclusive guest, who goes by the name AJ. As he normally says, Ajae. That is AJ. And today we are having him, who is an artist slash certified digital marketing practitioner. We're just gonna be touching on his journey as an artist from previously living on the north, almost all his life, and now having to move to the south, which is Soweto. How has it been like? The transition, um, and also taking the journey to become a digital marketing student to graduate, and now being a certified a digital marketing professional. So today we are having him. So if you are an artist and you want to know more about artistry and music, and also more especially if you are a DJ, a digital marketer, this is the episode to stay tuned in. And also, if you are a business person, business personnel, or entrepreneur, I must say, uh, press AJ, or let me rather say AJ. We'll be having some special announcements for you, so you better tune in and watch this whole interview. Vandaag, I think my nigga is ready. And let me put him through. I hope I'm audible. Oh yeah, the mic is on. So yeah, let's do this. AJ, man, I just accepted. I don't know if you see. I don't know if you are able. Okay. I don't know if you're able to come in, man, so that we start the conversation. Today it's a Sunday. I hope everybody is already having a wonderful, blessed day. I know some people are preparing to go to church. Some actually not going to church are preparing to go to work, more especially the ones in retail. Okay. Just accepted, my brother. So yeah, I hope everybody's just starting their day off in a very nice way, as we are starting our day off in a very exciting way. So today it's episode 10 of the behvppy Central live show, and we are having Mr. Ajae. Mr. AJ in the building, / artist, musical artist, and a certified digital marketer. He's in.
I'm using a tablet with my dog, so I don't know if am I upside down to you?
Yeah, you're upside down, dog. I'm gonna tell you which is the right angle. You turn it again. Yeah, that's the one.
This is the one.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, cool. Let me just find a nice settling spot for it. Am I audible?
Yeah, perfect, my dog. Am I audible?
Yeah. You got the whole thing going, bro. So you got the mic and everything, so we can hear you loud and clear, my dog.
Same, Jam. So I hope you're good, my dog. AJ.
Yeah.
Hope you're great, Jam. How's the Sunday going so far?
Cold, man, chilly, but nothing crazy. It's chill vibes. It's a Sunday, so everything is slower than usual. But it's not, man. I like it. It's enjoyable sometimes.
Let me quickly join you with the cocky cap, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cup cap all the way, bro.
All the way, my dog.
All the
Let me
way,
just
bro.
join you.
Yes, sir.
Now we are on.
Yes, sir.
Now we on and ready.
Ready to operate. Now we're ready to operate, bro. What's happening?
I'm good, my dog. Thanks to everybody who's currently watching right now. This is the Be Happy Central Live Show, episode 10, and today we're having my nigga, my brother, from another mother, AJ,
So
who normally says AJAE. You know what it is, you know
pronounced
what it is.
AJ. You know what it
First,
is.
first in the building. Dango.
So poo poo
So,
poo
so,
poo.
po, po, po,
Yes, sir.
so my brother, please get us into who is AJ, man. Where
Mm,
you come from.
yeah.
We're having a conversation. Remember here, it's not just an interview. Just be open, have an open heart, and just spread your
Yeah.
story, my brother. Don't be
Yeah.
scared. Don't be scared. We have plenty of time. We have plenty of time.
Word. Definitely, bro. Yo, man, AJ is a creative man at heart. Started my journey. I think the first memory I have of me really becoming a creative was somewhere in like primary school when I joined the choir. Joined the choir for the first time, and it was actually a very big moment for me because the way my primary school days were structured, or extramurals at my primary school were structured, you had to get to grade 7 in order to be allowed to join isn't just fana choir, marimba band, whatever the case might be, all this different stuff, you know. So I mean I was a typical boy, a typical boy child who is into sports, into soccer, you know. I was into contact sports, you get your boxings, your martial arts. And I was growing up, I mean, being a typical child, but I didn't understand why I found a liking towards choir for some weird reason. Like, that was so out of character. If you knew me, it was so out of character. Like, like even to myself, I was like, I don't understand why, but I want to get to grade 7 so I can become a part of this thing. So I don't know, man. It was crazy when I finally like joined and became a part of it. I became one of the most profound voices in that choir. We went on to win competitions, and I genuinely just liked how that made me feel. I liked how music made me feel. And I try to keep that energy going, but obviously you get to a high school. I went to a boys' school, and things have to change. We're not, things change now because now it's even if we thought primary had bravado, now it's time for bravado. You're in a boys' school, so singing is not necessarily something that is, that was looked at as some of the toughest stuff to do. We'd focus on rugby. Everyone wanted to play rugby and whatnot, but I just had that liking towards it, man. And I tried my best to stick to it. I went and continued choir for about 2 years within that high school period. And then I left again, and I realized that I wanted to do something bigger than just be a part of a group of people that sing. I wanted to be somewhere, somehow more creative. I felt like there was more creativity lurking inside of me. So from then, decided to move into DJing. And I jumped into the DJing space for a little bit. Yeah, I jumped into the DJing space. It's crazy because, like, I mean, it made sense because back then, I don't know if you know or you've heard. I'm sure you've heard because, like, I come from a very musical family in terms of Sithandwa ubumnandi, you feel me? We love having a good fucking time. So Mkhotman Lami, being the person that he is, had all this music technology. I'm sorry, I'm outside now. I hope you didn't. Can you pick up all those background noises?
Yeah, we can, but it's not interrupting anything in terms of
Ah,
you.
cool. So yeah, so Khotman had all these pieces of technology around. So you had speakers, you had mics, you had the visual DJ and whatnot, and I'm played whatever. And I was just, you tinker around and you play around, and there's always a crowd around us. You know what I mean? Literally, there's always a crowd. So you start playing for those people. You feel me? You start playing for those people, and from playing for those people, you develop some sort of love for it, and it becomes like, yo, and then next thing you know, you're in that space. So that's how I found myself in that space. But again, it was not enough. I mean, it's cool and all to spin music that other people created, but imagine if I created the music. Imagine if it was my own product. You know what I mean? And I think that was the brainchild of what then became Ajae and everything that Ajae is kind of about. And then I mean, I'm from the era of house music, Vizu. That's what I grew up on. Hip hop was the devil's music. That was how it was, bro. Like hip hop was the devil's music. Like I mean, you hear this Illuminati, what party, these stories online, and you watch the videos. You watch the videos of the you know what I mean, Lil Wayne and the gestures that he's doing, and you're like, you, I cannot be listening to this. This is going to send me down a path wrong. But you get to high school and all of that shifts because you meet new people, new perspectives arise, and we grown up. Well, not grown up, but we grow now. We start to develop our own choices and our own likes and dislikes outside of the folklore that you're taught. So then I became, I started listening to hip hop, and Lil Wayne was the first one I listened to. It took a couple of songs before I was a fan. I won't lie. It took a minute for me to love hip hop. But I remember I listened to a song called "She Will." And funny enough, it's crazy because now the GOAT was on that song. We didn't know he was the GOAT when that song came out. I'm not gonna speak too much on that. But She Will was the first track I heard. I was like, yo, this is fire. Okay, this is fire. And I started playing it over and over again. And then the hip hop bit. Next thing I know, now I'm listening to, I'm vasting into like Eminem. I loved that whole street struggle music at that time. That tenacity music, that doing it against all odds. Eminem being a white rapper, and hip hop being so black. I mean, look at it now. It's the whole concept is you have to be black enough to do hip hop, and that's how hip hop was also back then. So to see a white rapper, for me, it was like watching a rose grow in between cement, bro. Cement cracks. Like I'm seeing something fight to survive, and not just surviving, but taking over the industry. And then the question big, bro. Can I write? Could I be a rapper? I mean, at that time, balancing, just being, I mean, you're growing 15, 16, 17, things change now, the conversations around life change. It becomes, what do you want to be when you grow up? And nobody wants to hear a nigga say he wants to be a rapper. That wasn't anything cool about it, bro. People want to be doctors. People want to be lawyers, man. Kids should want to be lawyers. That's how the conversation was. And so now I'm trying to be that guy who's saying, hey, but I also like doing this though. Like, can I be a lawyer but still do this? And I mean, that became, I think, the birth point of the parallel lines that run between who I am. I live a life of a hip hop rapper, artist, whatever, person who's on front from the cameras, whatever the case might be. But I also live a life that's very professional, a life that is there to build to build the status quo of what a career is. The status quo, like the suit and tie. I ended up having to break that apart and say, cool, then I understand why I need to have real dreams, real goals that are going to be achievable, that are going to pay the rent or pay the bills at some point. But I also believe that you need to dream. So I can find that line and toe it very well. And that was now the birth point of this musical artist and this very professional and boardroom-based dude. And I found a way to juggle them, no matter how different they were. And at some points they do, infringe on each other, but you learn how to balance the act and know when to be who when. And yeah, that gave birth to what you're looking at right now, a mixture of creativity, business-minded person, somebody who's also all about giving back, all about just uplifting people, all about just changing the narrative, because I'm doing that for myself too, and I want people to know that the narrative can be changed, and it just takes hard work and determination to do so. And it's not always easy, but it can be changed, and that's what I stand for at the current moment. You feel me, sir? That's a little bit about who I am and how I became who I am. You feel me? Yeah.
So, another thing, I think you missed some pointers there and there, my bro, on your story. Because I once spoke to you. You told me that
Yeah.
was it after when you finished high school, or I
Yeah.
don't know. You elaborate on that. You there was a point where you did. I think it was sales and promotion, or you were part of events team, or sort of you do some sort of production. And there is a time in your life whereby you did also auditions. Just trying to have a different income will um, that you are able to invest it back to the music, so that you're able to push properly as an artist, because you realize that as you were pushing as an artist and not having a certain income, it was
Mm.
kind of like hard, you know.
Yeah.
So tell us, what other steps did you take in making sure that you invest your into your music?
Wow, man. I mean, the very first thing is understanding what to invest in, and I think that was from because I started officially releasing music just when I stepped out of high school. So I'm like 18 years old. Yes, I've been playing around, writing. I've got lots of lyrics and whatnot, and I'm building something of a name for myself on the streets, a reputation for being a hot spitter and whatnot. But now this is where this is where we separate the boys from the men. You know what I mean? This is now okay to release some music. Let's see what you got. So that's when the bills started to hit me. Oh shit! And I always had the love for the finer details. I couldn't work in a studio that was not giving me what I believed at that time to be like perfect or really a great representation of what I'm trying to build. So to get into those kind of studios and work with those kind of people started looking at me different, like, yo, but then this is what we gotta do. We gotta, you know what I mean? It's gotta be an exchange of not just energy, but an exchange of currency, my nigga. You feel me? And it becomes a I mean, like every other artist I've come across, there's a point where you become entitled a bit. You're like, this guy is not being real. What do I holding me down, whatever. But you grow out of that phase, and I feel like if you dwell in that phase, that's where your career is not gonna go no place. It takes a while to get out of that phase. It really does, man, because it takes you looking into the mirror and being honest with yourself and saying, "Hey, like I need to get out of that phase of feeling like I deserve things." You know what I mean? You don't deserve anything here. You still need to work hard and build yourself. So then currency had to be a thing, and I paid for the first two tracks I recorded, dropped them both, and I didn't get crazy stuff back. I got my first gig from them, thank God. But what those songs really did for me is they created the awareness in the right people, because I mean I was very lucky, bro. Also, like luck did play a huge role in my developing. I don't know if it's luck or if it's just knowing where to be at the right time, but those things played a big role, because I got approached by a homie who was like, "Yo, man, I don't know. Your stuff is good, bro. Like, stuff is good." And I'm not necessarily a manager, but if ever I want to try this managing thing, because it does appeal to me, I would love to start it with you. So I handed over my brand over to somebody else almost 5 months into building it, and I got my first gig, and it was really, really a big gig, because we did that gig in 26. It was 2016, I think. We did that gig in Wits University alongside Anati, alongside Phantom Steez, alongside Taz. Questa was supposed to pull up at that event. I didn't see him there, but he was supposed to pull up at that event. and I'm on stage, and the mic is getting handed over to me by Phantom Skis, one of the biggest, trap artists right now. And this is my first gig. You understand what I'm saying? And I went out there, I did the thing the best way I could do it. I did what I believed was what I could do at that time, and it took off, bro. It kind of made noise. And I think it was at that moment I was like, man, I think this could be a career. This could genuinely be a career. And then you get your second gig. My second gig I did at my old high school. They gave me a platform. Jazzy Q, he was the one who I think created that whole event. I went to school with Jazzy Q. He was a few grades higher than me, but I know that Amasosha and Amapaya were held by him, the Bompura. And I got a slot there. I performed in front of that crowd, and people walked up to me and young Chola. And that was like the first beginning of the thing. And then now it's like, okay, sharp, those 2 songs, they died down, you gotta make more. And now the current, like you come back, and, okay, cool, now I need to pay for this. You need to play your cards right, because we don't have extra money to just throw in everything, right? You have to play your cards very, very right. And I made a ton of mistakes, but another thing is, I was a person who was willing to push themselves to the limit. Like, if I needed to be at Rosebank and I didn't have money to get there, okay, I used to stay in Highlands North. I don't know how far it is in terms of kilometers, but it's not close by. I would walk, bro. I would get out and I'd get there. And one of the days when I was on my hustle sessions, walking down to Rosebank, I was actually going to Planet Fitness. I wanted to open a membership or something. These guys had, I don't know how they had convinced me to open a membership. These guys are good at this, the sales stuff, okay? So I'm over there and I'm going to go and open this membership for some reason. And I walk into the wrong office, bro, because I'm looking for a specific sales guy. This guy, I spoke to him over the phone, told me his name. He said I would meet him at the front desk. I go to the wrong front desk. I walk into this place because it's at Planet Fitness. It's at the top there. I don't know if you've been to it's not really Rosebank. It's more in the side Lady Joe, where there's Wanderers Stadium. Yeah, it's around those sides of Wanderers Stadium and stuff. And I'm going in there, and I step into the wrong room, and I could just immediately tell that I don't think I'm at the right place. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because, it says Planet Fitness, but the people don't look, they look good. They look more like models than they do look like, people that are here to gym. They look too, when you're at the gym, you're supposed to look sweaty and you're lifting. You're not there to look pretty. These guys look pretty, and I don't understand what's going on. And this guy walks up to me, and then he's like, "Oh, so you here to see me?" I'm like, I don't know who you is, but I'm here to see a dude by this name. They're like, "No, we don't have anybody that works in these offices by this name, but I see something in you. And as soon as you find the gent that you can get defined and you good, please come back, let's chat." That's a very weird way to meet somebody. So I go do what I was here to go do, and then I come back. Because curiosity, kills the cat. I come back because I want to know what this guy's on about. And that's when he opens the doors to a whole new world. He tells me that his name was Lifa, by the way. He tells me that he works for this agency called Just You Artist Management, and I have the face for TV. That's what he says to me. I have the face for TV. I don't know what that means. And he's like, "So have you ever tried TV in any way?" I'm like, "Yo, man, to be honest with you, I do music, actually." I was looking at this from a point of view of, hey, this could assist my music. So I do music, but I've never really jumped into that world. I don't know what that's all about. He gives me a script. He gives me 5 minutes. It tells me to try and memorize this to the best of my ability. And that's what we do. And I read up on the script and I try and memorize it. It was just an ad, like an Omo ad or something. And then he's like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "I bet." And then he puts me in front of cameras. And now I'm going to shoot this ad, like on the spot. And I did the best I could. And I guess he saw something. And that's when now I get this contract where it's like, "Yo, bro, we would actually like to sign you." And this is a great opportunity. I take it. And the beginning of the acting career starts there. Now, I'm not really acting because I'm trying to be the next, I don't know who. I'm acting because I want to get paid. And that industry is more, it's more, I don't know, structured than music was. Music ain't a structure, Priam, and that's the thing about music that I really don't like. It's so unstructured in the way that it's done, or at least at the underground level. Maybe at the top level it's better, I don't know. But at the underground level, the structure is just not there. But the acting is there from the, like they treat you like a star from the minute you walk in. Like you're a star from the minute you walk in, bro. And when I say star, I don't mean they baby you, but I mean that they treat you with respect. They treat your brand with respect. They assist you to get your brand at an even better level. Like you're not just there to feel tired. We really see something in you, and we're trying to try and push you towards the something that we see. And so I sang with these guys, and I start doing small gigs that are paying some big cash, and that's the cash I'm using to invest back into my craft. And then that cycle starts to begin, and you start taking every opportunity that comes your way. And then where marketing comes in now is okay. Now, okay, sharp. I'm getting the cash, but where am I investing it into? Where is it gonna go? And you start developing a marketing brain there, because now you're like, I don't really know how. I'm a very humble person in terms of being able to tell myself straight up with I don't know how. Like I feel like that's very important. People want to know everything. Like I'm so willing to. I actually enjoy when I don't know something, because it means I get an opportunity to learn something new. When I know something, I find it quite boring. Like I already know this. But when I don't know something, that's when and you need to humble yourself sometimes and be like, to be honest, I don't know. So I started a small series. Every single Friday, I would drop a freestyle Friday video, because my whole concept was I wanted to show off my pen ability. I want to show off my spitting prowess. So what's the best way to do that? And you start, and I mean, that was like maybe 2020, I don't know. 5 years later, we call it a content strategy. I didn't know about that. You know what I mean? I was doing something I didn't even know what it was. Just by trying to okay. And I stuck with that thing for maybe a good year, bro. And the views only got more and more and more and more. People started requesting certain songs. There's a homie, I think he's still watching right now. I mean, he was there during that era. And I started trying to build. Now, the next thing was, okay, I want to build followers now. I want to have, because I realized that having followers at that time looked good. It looked good for you as an artist. How do I build the following? So content. And then, you understand? You take this, you take that, you put it together, and you make it work. And that becomes the basis of it. Your creativity does not have to only live in the studio. Your creativity can live in how you present yourself, in how you use what you have. You're never gonna have it all, bro. Like if you're an artist and you're hoping and you're waiting, and you're like, I know what, I'm waiting to have my own studio, waiting to have my own DJ, waiting to have my own PR. You're gonna wait. You're going to wait, because we wait with you. While we do our thing, everything is going to wait. You need to be able to stand up and use what you have. You're never gonna have it all. And that's how I've kind of been able to deflect costs, buy. I'm able to deflect being charged hectic amounts, because I work hard on building value, so that when I get to the negotiation table, we're able to speak a different language if ever I need something, and I can give something. Because if you can't give anything, then you need to give money. The minute you and this is a painful truth that I had to admit to myself. The minute you walk into a negotiation table and the person asks you, "So how much am I getting?" Just know that whatever you pitched was not good. If the next question is my or okay, fine, but you're gonna have to pay this. The minute if it moves into the territory of someone trying to extort cash from you immediately, then just know that pitch was not the best. You did not sell them. Unless really from the get-go, you wanted to just come and get what you want to get and leave. But if you're hoping with this, so we're together, we're gonna work together, and then the minute you like, I need a feature, dog, and the guy says, "I cool, my features go at like 10K." Then you must know, it's probably because maybe there's a value that is either not being properly communicated, or something. There's something off. Not to say that money is wrong. Don't get me wrong. We need to also like really assist each other in this industry by paying each other. Money needs to circulate. Where is it supposed to come from if we don't circulate with us? If I don't pay you for that feature, you can't pay him for that feature. You can't pay for the studio. The studio can't buy more equipment. Money needs to circulate. But at the same time, it's not always money that's the thing that people need. You don't always need money. Sometimes you need something bigger than money. You need a platform. You need, like, people need to start looking at it as how the value can. I mean, I don't care who walks through my gate, bro, and tells me what they like, an idea that they have. I'm one person who look for, because I know where we come from, bro. I know we don't all have extra change in our back pocket to throw down for something. If someone walks in here, they're hoping that, hey, can we work together and make this work? I always try to find value that.
Yo, guys, I think AJ just lost connection. Yeah, I need no connection. Let's try to bring him back in. Let me check. Okay, my mic is still on. Let's try to bring him back in. Well, I am enjoying this conversation. The way AJ is dissecting and just telling the story. I think I know a lot of artists will be captured and be inspired because he's really taking us into his journey and the importance of going through the processes, as more especially if you want to be an independent artist who is able to negotiate for themselves and really um, start from the ground up, not being scared to go out there, meet people, really promote themselves, and making sure that their vision and agenda within the music is properly being depicted in the right way. Let me re-invite him again, because I know network can be a problem, Bafethu, but still more. We're still here at the Happy Central Live Show. This is episode 10. En vandaag spelen ze game AJ, Bafethu.
Hey, sorry,
Yo,
sorry
AJ,
about that.
please continue, my friend.
My bad, King. I think my battery died there, but we up and running.
Can you hear me properly? Because I can hear myself.
I can hear you. Yeah. At some
But
point, I could hear myself too. But it's cool, man. It's cool. I was ignoring it. It's cool.
all right, please continue, my dog, from where you were. Should I ask
Yeah,
you a
yeah,
question?
yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Um, Now that you have um, found yourself having to have an income to invest it back to music, and all the experience that you had to go through in understanding understanding that also you need to build content to build the audience. It's not just going to the studio and having a side hustle and just invest what's this, investing into music only in terms of making sure that your music out is not just any music, but quality music. And
Yeah.
making sure that whoever that you're working with, because if you invest on recording, that's ultimately adding value to the person that you're working with, so that they also take you serious as moving forward. Um, so let us know from you living in the north now. Now you, as a family, I think you'll just share us the dynamics around you moving, especially from the north to the south. Um, how has it been like so far, and why was the transaction? Why did the transaction happen from moving to the north? Now you're so familiar with the lifestyle of the north, and the opportunities are there in the north, and now you have to obviously you build some relationships. Obviously, I've read your studio was that side. You invested so
Yeah.
much that in terms of human resource and just money itself on the things that you were doing, and I can understand also having to go to your place, go to Rosebank, like you said, you used to walk. I mean, the distance was actually convenient at that time. But now
Yeah.
you in Soweto. Tell us about that moving out from north to coming to the south, and how do you feel about the environment here, Ekasi, in terms of music and the opportunities that are here? And also, you can even add on where can we improve as artists, basically.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, man. I was staying in a place called Highlands North. And I grew up there in Faithful from birth. I was there, and I started moving around a lot when I was from like 11 years old. Started moving up and down, Sayabo, different places because of different reasons. I was chasing the money, chasing the bag. My mom's was chasing the bag, and sometimes the bag leads you to different sides of the world. And obviously, the north is where the bag is usually at. So I think I was also very privileged to be around those kind of people, because then you kind of see how the bag moves from a very early age. You see how the bag moves, how the bag is made, and yeah, because I mean, other than that, you end up thinking that the bag is made through tireless hard work in terms of like physical hard work. There are people who are making the bag sitting in front of laptops. People who are making the bag sitting in very nice cars and whatnot. And I grew up around all of that. But at the end of the day, then I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood. So you're the only black dude. You're the only black dude the whole street. All my friends were white, white and Jewish friends. Um, and yeah, man, that's the world that you are in there, and that's also probably why. I mean, funny enough, like you have the opportunities, but at the same time you don't have the opportunities, because there's a lot of stuff that is lacking, a lot of stuff that is not going, or there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of communication errors that take place. Like, for instance, here, if there's an artist down the road, I'm gonna know. They're not so much, bro, because there's no, like, it's possible for you not to know who your neighbor is. It's not necessarily very together like that, unless you are part of maybe the Jewish community. But for like a person like me who's just a black kid, it's not as inclusive as you'd want it to be. And I'm pretty sure most of the artists I've worked around, who, I mean, they were there. No, not to say they were none. There were artists that were around, worked together, and some really, really dope guys, fire guys. But I mean, you take time to know who they are. It takes a minute for you guys to know each other. You stay in the same street, you only know each other. Like, it's kind of weird. So immediately when I moved here, I realized that was not the problem, definitely. Because here, everyone knows you. Everyone, like, if people are so more willing, like, who your neighbor is, you chat with your neighbor comes over, he chills with you. You know what I mean? Down the road, like, we know each other. Like, I could go far and wide and still have people know who my khutman is. You know what I mean? And the people who khunda me, I don't know them. They know the khutman. And it was like, okay, it's like it's like that. It's very, very tight knit. And that to me was, I mean, an advantage. It's a huge advantage because, well, if you choose to look at it as an advantage, because you can push your narrative much quicker. In the north, it was much slower, and it's more demanding in terms of, um, money. You're gonna have to pay for every little thing because there's no time for us to build a connection and trust each other's music enough to work together. Like, it's really quick transaction, in, out, get what you need, poof, go, done. There's no time for us to get to know each other here. You need pictures. I have a camera. Pay me. I'll give you your pictures. You know what I mean? It's like a pick and pay, my guy. You know what I mean? When you walk into pick and pay, you don't time to talk to nobody. You walk in there, you get what you want. You go to the till. The till, the it's gonna. But a scanner. The amount that reflects there, you must. I don't want to hear no stories. You know what I mean? Give me this, and then you take that. That's the vibe there, and that's what I was trying so hard to break, and that's why it was so crucial for us to work as teams back then. I opened my first business when I was 19, and I was working with a homie that I had met through a feature. I mean, homie heard my music before. He heard my music, and then he got in contact with me for a feature, and then we recorded the song. We had one chat on the rooftop after the song was recorded, and then the next thing we know, we're talking about starting businesses, starting companies, because I think at that point, survival came with working with somebody. Survival was with working with somebody. If you're not working with anybody, then you're gonna have a bit of a problem. So I pushed a lot of times with people. A lot of the time, people see me with other people. Yeah, this is the first time I think you're gonna watch me do the run, not necessarily alone, but as myself, with no with no um uh, uh, with no partner of some sort, without sharing the CEO position within my business. Yeah, well, this is going to be me doing me the way I want to do it, and it's because I can see that there's room for that being here. So the adjustment has to come. You have to adjust. Back there, I needed the whole working as a team thing. I needed everything close by, and I'm not alone. All of us needed that. If you had a camera, getting dudes to take footage of was also not easy. You didn't just find them, yeah. Especially those that are gonna take your footage far. Your music video, I don't know what they call them, editor or visualizer, whatever. And you need artists to shoot. Where are you gonna shoot? And you need the best. You need the most serious, and you know what I mean. The minute we get to know each other, we don't want to Shugana anymore. We stick close to each other because we know that in the long run we're gonna need each other. We're gonna need each other to keep pushing. So I think that's the big difference that I see. You asked me what can the artists here do different? Man, that one is I don't know. I would love to see. I would love to see more beauty in how they portray their neighborhoods. Because I know, man, we in the ghetto, bruh, and people die every day. People get robbed. I mean, these things, they happen. It's the hood. It is what it is. But there's also beautiful places. There's also beautiful stories. There's so much beauty in the nightlife, the day life, the everyday. Like, you see how you portray Ikas, and in your music, I feel like it's so nuanced based compared to how I see other people portray. Like you buy into the ideas of making the everyday thing that people look at as just a thing, and you portray it. You use it almost as a beacon to landmark where you at, and there's beauty in that, bruh. It's being able to see that rose through that concrete. You have to be able. It takes an eye to see that. And I feel like if more artists moved in that direction, I think visuals can be even more cleaner. They have the capacity to be more cleaner. The storytelling, I think the storytelling is like the top notch. I'm just not seeing a lot. I'm not seeing enough collaborations for these things to come out, because I see them on paper. I don't see them materializing, and it's because there is a lot of ego that I also encounter. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to push back on that, man, or pull back from that rather, and just evaluate where we are. Like it takes being a big boy, man, and looking yourself in the mirror and just being honest with yourself and your craft, where you are. And I think that's where you'll find that's where the humbling moment is, when you're being honest with yourself. Like, you don't have to be humbled by somebody else. Just when you look in the mirror and you're like, ish, man, like, what could I be doing better with something, and realizing, okay, okay, sharp. Then you're able to bring yourself into that level where you're easier to work with as a person. So I would love to see more collaborations happen with less ego involved, with just people in the industry. Because it's always I mean, with creativity, I mean, you can go to school and study and whatnot, but there's no real paper that says this one is more creative than this one. There's no true. I mean, you can go and study. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, someone can fact check me on that. But I feel like there's no real paper. Like, there's no papers to show that a Reese is better than Nasty C or vice versa. That's why we can't settle that debate. We can't settle Kendrick Lamar and Drake, because there's no papers that they can show us that says, no, I mean, I was certified by Harvard School to be the best rapper on earth. It comes down to what you put out, how people take it, how people like love it, and there's no, you can't really. So you have to be able to bring yourself down to a level, break down your craft to such a level that you're like, okay, sharp. If I want to fix visuals in my like, everything else is dope. My music is amazing. Visuals is what I want to fix. Then finding the guy who does the best visuals and being able to tell yourself, okay, sharp. Don't approach it as I need him to give me the visuals. No, what can I do for him in return for him to give me some visuals? What can I give him to get? Approach every situation with a give more than a receive, and you'll see that you over there is the see, which says you're providing more than you are taking from me. Those few hours I'm spending working on your stuff, it's nothing compared to what you are giving back to me. Young son. So that's what I would love to see. Like, if ever these two. I'm a studio. After you have found them, they're quite a lot. There's a studio. I had at some point 4 different studios, 4 different engineers that I was working with on any given time, and it was just a matter of just logistics. Hey, Dan, can I come over and work on? Yeah, pull up, whatever. Yeah, we we're dealing with one studio. There's no that diversity, bro. I remember Tilo was down the road. Shout out to Tilo, but he was down the road, and he also had a crazy setup of a studio. Unfortunately, he's not in the hood anymore, because I mean, as soon as we get our bag right, we all want to go live somewhere better, So he's not in the hood anymore, and we're down to one studio, and it's like, yo, finally, I'm even thinking maybe I should build a studio now. Maybe I should look into building a studio, because I can see that, hey, we don't have studios, bro. We don't have things to work with, because people are investing in themselves. Last time we were, I'm not gonna say any names, but you hear about photographers don't have cameras, and it's like I get it, bro. It's the hassle, but what the fuck?
I know a few.
How,
Oh
bro?
God.
How? Do you understand? Like, these are the type of
Yeah.
things that I just, you know what I mean? It's sad to see that, because when I speak of a photographer in the north, I'm talking about someone with several cameras. This guy has a camera for his camera. This guy has a camera for his camera's camera. Yeah, I'm trying to like, the investments are there. Maybe it's because maybe there's more bag. I don't know, but the investments are there. People are putting back into their work, and it's very. That's why I mean, like, even in the hood, I associate with those that are willing to put money into themselves, because it shows me that you're serious about yourself. And I believe that everybody else who interacts with me is interacting with me, hopefully for the same reasons, because they look at me and say, this nigga gives a shit about himself. He really, really cares about what he says he's doing. And because he cares about what he says he's doing, I'm willing to align myself with this guy, because if he's worried, if he really cares about brand yake, then he's probably going to have the same amount of care about brand yami if we are working together. You kind of see the professionalism of an individual. So I align myself with it. If I see that when you're willing to really put your money where your mouth is in terms of yourself, not with me. Don't give me shit, bro, but yourself, bro. Because if you can't give yourself, then how are you gonna give me? You feel me? If you can't, if you can't take yourself to the best studio, then how are you gonna pay me for a good feature? You're not, bro. You obviously you don't. You're at the point where at the moment you don't really care. You just want to get things done. You want things to be. You want to just have things, but you don't care about them being at the highest level. Young bam. So, like for instance, I'm rocking cocky because that's what I saw when I met Homeboy. Homeboy will wear cocky head to toe. He doesn't need you to wear it. He's never needed. He'll wear it head to toe himself if you don't want to wear it, my dog. That's how much belief he has in his own brand, and that's the only reason why I gravitated. I was like, nah, bro. If anybody can believe in themselves like this, then somebody I need to be aligned with. And yeah. I hope I'm answering your questions, bro.
No, you're answering them perfectly, my brother, and they are clear. So now that you're in the South, my bro, you're meeting different artists now. I feel like right now, ne, you no longer the first Ajae that entered the Kasi and was like curious who's who, what is what, where can I get this, who has this. I feel like now you have gravitated to the hood to the point now that you are known first things first. Your face is more familiar, and in the rap environment, you are known for what you're doing. We understand, and you've connected yourself with the right people. I mean, you're wearing khaki. I know you, and some other people that are doing the same thing. You know them as well. So I'd like to know, was it you going to school to do digital marketing as which as in fuck this shit, bro. I've been doing music right now, but now I want to try something that will put me to a different pedestal. I don't know if you get me, so that now I start pushing my music on another level. So I'm able to get into boardrooms and talk to big brands and just plug myself in. Was it really the reason behind you having to study digital marketing and having to graduate, and today you're a certified digital marketer?
110%, my dog. 110%. That was that giving back to myself that I was talking about, like reinvesting in myself. Like, people must know investment is time and it's money. At any given time, when you give someone time, or when you give them money, you are now delved into the world of investments. So I decided, also because of the pressures of growing up, I'm no longer, this is not 2020. I'm not at the point where I'm just early 20s anymore. You know what I mean? I'm now pushing mid to late 20s, bro. And you want to double your bag, bro. I studied also business for a bit. I did like a business venture creations course that spoke about how to start businesses and whatnot. And there's a very profound thing that they said then that's pretty well known now, but when I heard it back then, it was the first time I'd ever heard it. Millionaires have 7 streams of income. But yet we try to become millionaires with 1. You feel me?
Shit.
Millionaires have 7. So if millionaires have 7 streams of income, what are we doing with 1? So I made it my whole thing to try and create 7 streams of income for myself. Obviously, there's the normal one that we have been introduced to, which is a salary. You go, you work, you get paid. That's only 1. People will stay with that 1 for years, bro. Never look into anything else and be shocked with why inflation is killing them. Why you have 1 salary. So if music is gonna start paying me, which it does here and there sometimes, you know what I mean? There needs to be something that needs to go alongside it, and that I can break into different pieces and create other streams of income for myself. I mean, most artists will go and get merch, will go and those were directions that I believed were already there. Or every artist has done that. Like, I also believe so much in go where people are not going. Like, that's also a very big philosophy in business. You need to go where people are not going. People like to go where everyone's going. You know, if we all start making caps, then all of us must make caps. Every single artist on earth must have a cap. Yeah, but then what about looking for different? What about doing what your competitors haven't thought about yet? So I decided to sit back and look at the landscape. And I said, what's another way I know I'm going to get paid? These people will have no choice but to give me money. And I mean, people would get a studio. A studio is one of those kind of investments where you know that as long as I have a studio, artists will have to record. There's nothing we can do. You can't run away from that. And if I say now it's 5 clipper to record, it's 5 clip.
Yeah.
And we pay. Like, I mean, me and you are artists, we know that. We pay. Like, even when we don't have ourselves, but to just get it to work, we pay, right? So I was like, okay, what's the real need? Because again, everything you must approach with, what am I gonna give if I wanna get? What's the real need? What does Happy sitting somewhere in that studio really need right now? And I was like, you know what? It's probably marketing. Because marketing has become so overlooked. People with the rise of smartphones and cameras, and now you can just get an iPhone and become a photographer now. With the rise of all of that, there is a lack of, I guess, there's a lack of there's a lack of professionalism. There's no more professionals in industries anymore. There's just people who have a piece of equipment that does everything for them. So people now know, and I can just post a video on my story, and then that's marketing. And there's a science to it. There's a science to it. So what if I learned that science and I brought that science back home? Brought it back at Kaslami, where I know that there are people who, if they received this science, everything, it'll take everything that they're doing and multiply it by 100. By just having that skill that they don't have time to go and acquire themselves. Man, you're busy writing music. You're busy talking to producers. You're busy planning events. You're busy. You don't have time to sit down and learn about content strategies and how they work. You know what I mean? But somebody has to do it. So I decided to be that puzzle piece and just go out, go learn the thing that needs to be learned, come back, and then throw it into the Kaslam and see it push different industries, see it push different people in whatever industry they're in. The beauty about marketing is that it is universal. There's no business that doesn't need it. There's no business that can't win from it. So that just became the obvious choice. I was like, I need to go and learn marketing. And anyway, I had a history in marketing. Like you did speak about it earlier on, that I went and did a bit of. I went and did telemarketing for a bit. Did telesales. Went and did sales, like live sales, like customer to customer. I mean, customer to sales agent. I did on field. I basically did almost every type of sale. Maybe not for my brand, maybe not from the kinds of brands I want to work with, but for some major brands, just as like a normal day-to-day job. So why not take that experience, compact it, take myself to a place where I can study, learn, grow, take that, add that together, and then polish it up, and then add my influence when it comes to music and my understanding of what musicians need, build things that are going to be for musicians, young Tola, for creatives. Like, because I know what it takes to be a creative. I know what you need. I know what you don't need. I know what you're looking for. I know the kind of services you need. And if I can just compile all of that into one thing and then give it, is that not how we create more artists in our neighborhoods, more successful artists in our neighborhoods, more prominent artists, more artists with longevity? You know what I mean? It's being able to just step out of your own bubble and be a puzzle piece. Be the person you wish you met 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? The person that you're like, yo, be that person for somebody else. You know what I mean? So I'm shaping up. I knew that marketing was what was missing in my career. So I tried to shape up to be the best marketer that I can and assist as many people as I can. You know what I mean? There's no other way.
Man, I think like a lot of artists are lacking, that perspective. Maybe because they're shattered because of the egos that they have. Probably, you'll never know. In terms of I'm a dope rapper, and all that bullshit. So as soon as you become in a humble state, like you said, which is you saw which egoism doesn't really help, because you want to build collaborations with people and be able to work with other people in order to build yourself. Understand? Not just in the music spectrum, and also in other fields, like it's in the digital marketing field right now. So tell us the difference between content creation and what's this, a marketing plan, because there's like a misconception between the two, my dog. Like you said, people think because they have social media and they're throwing out content, then their marketing is proper. As if you understand that, they don't know or don't really understand the two. Before content creation is part of the marketing plan, and it needs to have guidelines, deadlines, which okay, but this time and this time, this project needs to be marketed in these platforms, and but this time or that time, this project needs to make so much sales.
Okay, that's a very, very, very nice question, man. So I think I'll start by just talking about content creation in itself. Like I said, because of the rise of technology and everyone has a handheld device, that content creation has become something that is a word that gets thrown around everywhere and anywhere by anybody. You know what I mean? But how I would say content creation differs from just being somebody who maybe just posts content online is really the why. Why are you creating this thing? So when you're a content creator, you are a storyteller, essentially. And there's steps that need to be taken within the strategy of creating, or within the creation. That's why it's called creation of content, and not just taking or shooting a video, because there is so much that you have thought about beforehand before jumping into creating. So you've already taken into consideration who the content is going to. You have taken into consideration the problem that the content is highlighting. You have taken into consideration the solution that you are giving to the problem that has been highlighted, and you're taking into consideration consideration the format and how you're delivering it to the person on the other side of the screen. Just a side tangent. It's insane how we have lost understanding of numbers because of social media. Like you when you have like something like 1,000 views on a post, there are people who say, or people who are like, so 1,000 views, so what? Have you ever seen 1,000 people in one place?
Yeah, dog. Like mostly in events, obvious gatherings or something like that. But not
You
randomly,
put
like
1,000 people in one place, someone will alert the police, my
like.
dog. That's a lot of people. That's a riot. That's a riot,
Yeah,
my nigga. But because of social media, you get 1,000 views and you're like, it's nothing big.
underestimated. Yeah.
You understand? So with content creation, we don't look at that and say, oh, 1,000 views is nothing. We look at it as out of that 1,000 views, how many were the right target that you were going for? How many were touched by your story? There are people who get 50,000 views, né? 50,000 views, but convert nothing. You as an upcoming artist can get 1,000 views and make enough to live off of your music. You can live off of your music with 1,000 fans if you know how to do that right. So if you know how to do that right, so that is content creation speaks to really getting into the minds of the person you're trying to talk to, and trying to really show them the problem, and position yourself as the solution, and attract them to come and talk about the thing, collab, whatever you are trying to achieve. At the end of the day, get them to take action. A marketing plan, on the other hand, marketing plan speaks to the whole public perception of this either brand or whatever we're launching, whatever we're doing the plan for. It's taking into account every single touch point that is going to happen, bro. From the moment the person realizes there's a brand called behvppy, to the moment the person is buying a behvppy cap, we have planned that entire journey out and made it seamless, made it easy for everyone to just make it. From the moment they hear about you to the moment they buy, that whole process we've taken into account, and we have planned it out, and we have secured how it's going to work, and we have answers to questions that are going to arise. That is what that is. It's the most biggest preparation you can ever have, because then whoever you're talking to, by the time they get to the end of the funnel, the part where they are pressing buy or whatever the case is, they are already happy with your brand, and they already stand for what your brand is about. So that is the kind of difference that it is. Content creation, just a puzzle piece in that marketing plan. Just a puzzle piece. Just a method. Just a driver, a car from point A to point B. That's all that is. It's the communication. It's like when you put the television on and you see a Coke ad. That is content that's been created just to remind you that Coke exists. And if you don't buy Coke, or if you don't end up buying the product at the end of the day, then there's a flaw somewhere. Yeah, well, but keeping your head knowing that something exists is what the content creation aspect of it is. But really, there's so much happening behind the scenes to get people to buy in, or to purchase a product, to support a brand, whatever the case might be. My job would be to create that for a brand. Most brands that I'm working with are underground brands. I do that purposefully. I know that there's not a lot of cash in that world. It's fine, man. I'm here to give back. So I do that purposefully. If I see you believe in it, I believe in it, and if I see that there's value that we can exchange, then why not? And yeah, the whole thing becomes doing that, taking this brand, working together with it, pushing it to the point where it needs to be pushed, and then everything is grand. Working together gets us to where we need to get to. Working together gets us to where we need to get to. Yeah, so. Sasepies, yeah, Sasepies. Kiwi. Sorry about that, man. You know, the hood life.
I understand.
Yeah.
So,
Everyone is waking up now,
yeah,
so things are getting deep.
time. It's a Sunday plaza, I understand.
Yeah.
So, Njam, now that you in the digital world, digital marketing world, and you have found your way through, and who you need to actually attract in terms of clientele. And I mean,
Yeah.
you had the Big Central live show right now, and actually being a guide to the people who want to start off in the digital marketing world, and just you being able to dissect your story and letting us know why you started the journey to become a digital marketer. Are there any opportunities that are there? Or some form of announcements that you have that will not just give you an opportunity to build up your clientele, but also through the clientele you are able to give your clients an opportunity to build their own self, build their own brands, and just build their horizon in how they need to be seen or be visible in the public domain.
Um. Okay. Let me just see if I get your question. Um. So you're asking me, is there any opportunities for people to get into digital marketing? And
No,
if there are ways, I'm
no,
sorry, I can see the sun move.
no.
Yeah,
I'm saying that.
I'm listening.
Sorry, man, to get you so confused. I'm saying that are there any announcements that you have right now?
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Of course, man. So,
yes.
as a person who again, man, I'm all about the whole thing. So this is what's happening, Bafetu. I am officially going to launch my business. This is my third business that I'm going to launch. It's called Mediasphere. At the moment, that's the name we're going with. It's called Mediasphere, and it's going to be um, a company, organization, a business that's going to be aimed at trying to help um, all upcoming artists, business, SMMEs, whatever industry that you're in. We're going to try our best to assist you to get to where you want to get to through this business. And so I'm going to be launching it very soon. I'm not sure when at the moment. Looking at the coming week, looking at maybe sometime in the month. But that's where you guys need to make sure that you're tapped in and you're following all our pages. I'll give you the pages and everything after I've said this. But just stay tapped in because I don't know when this is going to happen as such. But this is going to be a platform for every single musician, artist, rapper, whatever that you do, as long as you're a creative and as long as you're in the world of making or doing isn't that is changing the world or that is fun, exciting, I'm there. I'm going to be assisting each and every one of these businesses to get to the next level of where they need to be, looking at what they do, how they do it, using strategy, using numbers, using everything that I've learned in Facebook to just give that value towards a business. So I want everyone to be tapped in on that. And as this being the first time that I'm saying this on a public platform, I also wanted to say that I would love to offer, especially the Be Happy people who believe in Be Happy. I love your fan base, bro, because your fan base is so genuine. You have such a genuine fan base, and what you stand for is really what I stand for too. So I'm offering this to the Be Happy family, every person that is part of the Be Happy family that's been supporting you. If you have any small businesses that you have, Bafetu, if you're an artist yourself, if you don't know where to start, if you haven't even started, you have an idea, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's happening, I would like to offer the first 5 people could tap onto my social media page for the company. It's called Mediasphere. We're at Mediasphere __. Hit me with a follow there, and then go into the DMs and just say, "Be happy Central live show / Ajae," and I'll know that you came from Be Happy, and then I'll offer you a free consultation for whatever business that you're doing. It's not just a consultation where we're just going to talk like this. It's going to be more very, like, if it's possible, we can even link up and we can do this face to face. We're going to do it over we have devices now that allow us to be 100 million miles away from each other but still operate. We can utilize those, and we can talk about your business, man, and I will draft an inclusive 3 possible strategies I think you should take to take your business to the next level, and I'll be offering that to the first 5 people that do that for me, and anybody else who comes after the 5, I'll offer you guys 50% off on all the consultation fees, and then we can talk about your business, bro, and talk about how we can get it out there. We need more black businesses coming out of Ikasi, man. We need more people really pushing to make their own bread. We can't wait for the system. The system doesn't have money anymore to pay us. They are too busy chowing it all, bro. I'm not a political dude, but they're busy chowing it all, bro. And they're not putting us on, bro. They're doing it on purpose. So let's put ourselves on. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. And I'll say it again. It's at Mediasphere, MEDIA. Am I saying that right? I hope I spelled that right. Yeah. And then Sphere, SPHERE. Please just tap in __. Please tap in, hit me with those follows. Let's grow this little thing, because this little thing is going to be around to assist all of us. And that's what it's really here for. Everything with my pricing plans and whatnot has been scaled in such a way that I'm doing this from a point of view of somebody who's been in those shoes. Who's also even currently in those shoes, hustling, dog, getting what he needs to do to get what the narrative right. So everything has been placed and created in such a way that it highlights those kind of things. And I'm not trying to kill anybody, you feel me? I'm trying to make all of us operate. So that's just one thing I wanted to offer, Ajae. Your following has done so much for me since being Daikasi. In fact, the first time any camera came and was in front of my face, Happy was the person who was interviewing me. It's been 5 years now, I think, since that day. And you have always had my name on your lips. If it's anything creative that's happening, put me on to, you told me about Open Up, you know what I mean? You've opened so many doors for me being here. Like, you've made my journey, like I see, much more easier in navigation, because when I came here, genuinely, I had no connections. I knew nobody. Every connect I had was now all the way other side of the planet. And through your support, I've managed to make a name for myself, like Gasi. And so for that, I just want to say, you know what I mean? This is what I want to offer everybody, bro. Like, let's operate, my friend.
So, like, what's your minimum charge, my bro, so that people get an idea, like the minimum charge is
all right. So if you're talking consultation, I always start with the consultation because I need to understand your business, and I need us to consultation is basically just a conversation between me and you. Tell me about your business, how it started, your journey in it, and what you're trying to achieve. And then we come up with 3 strategies that we think could work, and then we run them past you, all of that stuff. I charge usually 300 for those. They run from I do an hour to about maybe 2 hours if it really is intense, but usually an hour is enough for me to get all the information that I need and then make a turnaround. So those will charge you something like $300, bro, for us to operate. If you are maybe not into, if you kind of already know what you want, which I wouldn't suggest that you come with that energy. Like, consultation is very important. But if you personally already does, I know what, I just need a content strategy, that's all I want. You don't want to really have any consultations, that's fine. My content strategy start from about $900. They're very inclusive. They explain everything to the finest detail, to when to post, how to post, the hashtag. You are essentially, all you're going to be doing is doing copy paste at the right time and posting. That's all you're doing. Maybe also dealing with your creatives, unless you want me to handle the creatives as well. I do the creatives if I need to. But it just makes your life easier. All you just do is you copy the caption as is, you paste it, the hashtag as is, you paste it. The time will be there at 12 o'clock. It's like a prescription. I give you a business a prescription. I run those usually from 1 month all the way up to 12 months. The longer, the better, because the more the puzzles fit together better. And then from there going forward, we're talking other things. Maybe you just need creatives. You need me to create a poster. Those we can talk about them as Abantu. It depends how much work needs to go into the thing. I can't say poster 500. Nah, it really depends how much I'm gonna be putting work in and whatever. Also on the music side, man. If you're a person who's down to work, operate, give verses out. Again, another really cool element about the business I want to open. It'll be probably the first business in 2025 or maybe in the last decade to offer the option of bartering as a fee. So if you have value, if you have something you know could be of value to me, because Nami, I'm hustling just like you, then we don't have to always talk cash. I have barter agreements where we can talk about how we can give value to each other and then push us here pambili. So there's also there's that element, but you understand, I'm trying my best to like really be about assisting more than anything else. I'm here to assist. I'm here to be part of the people who are pushing for Wutisonke Space Shop, because otherwise we can't be waiting on the government anymore. The government will see us when we are in our 60s, thing I'm a food parcel. Right now, they're not really, they're not about you. They're not about you. They're not about you right now. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm taking, I know there's some comments that we haven't been taking, bro. JV says, when can I pull through?
I'm gonna talk to JB, bro. Like he's my boy. That one. I wanna talk to him.
Word. Yeah, so but that's what it's about, Jayami, and ngathi singa-operate mafethu, ngathi singa-operate sibek rendi, sisizane within our work. Siphume from all these hard township lifestyles, bro. Like we don't deserve any of this.
Right.
I think a lot of us deserve better, man. A lot of us deserve better, and we can create better for ourselves. Despite our backgrounds, despite where we come from, the scars on our faces are only lessons that we have had to learn, and they don't bring us down. They only make us better. They only make us stronger. So everyone find why they want to. Today's a Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. Some of us, we don't know what is we don't know what is we don't have jobs. It's rough, whatever the case might be. Let's shake it off, bro. Let's face this world. And let's do it courageously. Let's take leaps. All of us have business ideas. Every last one of us do. And you know what's crazy? Everything that you see around you is somebody's idea that came to life. So, I mean, you are actually doing us a disservice. You are doing the world a disservice by letting that idea that was going to change everything die. Die. We don't need that. We need us to stand up and take the right steps. And I know that the first step is always like the hardest, because you're like, I don't know where I'm going to go with this. And that's why I'm offering these things as a consultation, because it's an opportunity. We just kudume about it. Yeah, but it's like I always call it Ep10. Like your business needs a hospital. Yeah, but where we can diagnose it. Why not operate it? Why is it not giving you the fruit that you need? It's a good idea. You know it's a good idea. We all know it's a good idea. So why the hell is it not doing what good ideas are supposed to do and blow the hell up? That's what we're coming here to answer, bro. That's what I'm here to answer. And I do it together. See, too. We look at this and we ask the hard questions and we get to the bottom of things. Yeah, that's the announcement, man. I really hope it makes a difference in somebody's life.
No, definitely it will, Donna, it will. Knowing you, definitely it will, you know what I mean? I know you're all about action, making things happen. So we're gonna wrap it up with like two more questions, about because
Yeah.
you know really, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
you know, there's going back to funding, government, and all that kind of stuff. We know that the people that also offer funding are the people in the private sector, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, and as small businesses or you know upcoming brands, it can be production houses, it can be artists, it can be just any type of business who are obviously who started from ground up, who have a resume to produce. What advice can you actually give out, or you know, a guide of some sort in how they can be able to attract such big brands in the private sector to enable them to get sponsorship? What are really the steps listeners to really go about? And lastly, the last question is, you know, just the word for the day, just wrapping things up and done. Okay. Before that, whoa, I forgot to cover something. So it's gonna be three. It's that for sponsorship. Before wrapping up, for the word of the day, when are we getting another tip from you, bro? Because I know you're working on something.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Cool. We'll jump into that.
yeah.
Okay, let me answer the first one, the sponsorships one. This is probably going to sound very, I hope it's not cliche, but start and ask. The conversation needs to start. And there's only one person who's going to start it, it's yourself. So I'll say the first thing is to really look at what you're trying to offer. Like, I always start with what you're offering. If you want to walk up to Coke, like I once tried to get a Coca-Cola sponsorship, and I came really close before I ended up leaving that record label. But what happened, like the whole thing was, we had to go and we put in maybe like 5K into just product placement of Coca-Cola. So I had Coca-Cola, if people, I don't know if who was there in that era, but it was around 2021, 2022, just before Ngize like us. Every picture I ever took, there was a Coke in my hand. Every last one. Like, it became a running joke because everything, like, when I arrived at the place, Coke set off lane. We had to buy, we had to put in before we got out. So you have to start that conversation. Really think about what you're trying to offer. Why do you want the sponsorship? And what do you think you can do for these people? The bigger they are, the harder those questions become to answer. So also look at that. If you can't answer the question, maybe that's not the right brand for you to be trying to work with. Look for smaller ones. Look for ones that are more or less on your level, and answer those questions. What can I offer? And exactly what do I really want them to do for me at the end of it? What's the exchange here of value? Because I think sometimes we think about me. I want, if they can just give me 1,000, if they can just give me 100K. Okay, for the 100K, what do you give them back? Answer those questions first. And as soon as you have answered those questions, like honestly, then you can start developing strategies to get to that table, because they are there, which is something I can also assist with. They are there. I mean, content is not just, that doesn't just live online. There's content that we don't see online. There's emails. That's also a piece of content.
So
That's
AJ,
copywriting.
I want to understand for the people who wouldn't understand in terms of strategy. Meaning, marketing is it the strategy is part of the marketing plan, the whole.
I think it's the backbone of any
Mm-hmm.
marketing plan. It's the backbone. Everything ties, well, at least with me, everything ties back into what is the strategy? What are we trying to achieve? Because the strategy will always take me back to what are we trying to achieve? It's what are we trying to achieve? Then we develop the strategy and then we implement it. And that can happen both online in terms of like what people get to see. Me and you can go online and see it. And then there's things that happen behind when none of us see. Those are the CRM side of things, the customer relationship management side of things, where we start talking to the people that we want to talk to directly, and we start building that relationship. So that also, I mean, get your CRM in check. For instance, if let's say you're a DJ, and you're worried about us playing your music, we are only listeners. The people you need to be worried about are the people who are booking. We need to talk to the people who are booking DJs. We can't talk to Oprah who just listens to Amapiano. We need to know who's this guy that hosted Laizo Buntukradla. That's the nigga I want to talk to, because guess what? He's in the space of booking. That's what strategy is. You come out of what you think, because if you attack something at face value, face value means I'm an artist, so I must sell my music to my fans. Yeah, cool, but the people who really make the things go, the people that really make the things work, they're sitting in boardrooms. Those are the people who are running the radio stations. How many of those niggas have heard your music? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why you're not on radio. Because these are the niggas who sit on the radio chairs, don't know you. You are so worried about the dude down the road knowing you. What about that guy? That guy is the one who's going to take your narrative forward. You need to know that's what strategy becomes. So if you come to me and you tell me, I want a sponsorship for my event, then we need to look at who can sponsor it and why. Once we know that, then the strategy to talk to those people, we draft that. We don't care about anybody else, those people. So that's the advice I would give there. And then you said the second question was, when is the tape coming?
Bro, when is the tape coming? Because it's been, guys, with AJ, since I've heard his music, it's been featured. Like this guy, as someone that I know who has been featured in so many songs, but never had like an actual whole tape of him just spitting verses after verses and crazy. So I've been told that he's working on something. I can't wait for that. So tell us, my bro.
Definitely, this is the year. If everything is going the way that it needs to go, this is the year. We are in studio. We are making music. Just yesterday, I was in the studio, so you guys can expect a single. Maybe this coming week, maybe the next week. It all just comes down to how quick I can draft my strategy. See, I do this stuff for myself too. How quick I can draft my strategies and understand how I'm gonna give you guys this piece. But it's a beautiful song. Unfortunately, it's not about beautiful things. It's a song called Confetti, and it's about struggle, man. It's about the L's that I've taken in my life and how I decided to chest them as an artist, as a creator, and as a man. And I whipped up something that is soothing. I don't know, I was in my soothing bag, bro. I was in my, on a cold day, and your mom, and then your grandma, your mom's pulls up on you with like that hot soup with the young toilet, that's what I went to and cook over there, because it's cold now. So I want y'all to be nice and warm as you listen to this. But at the same time, I could not make music until I got that off my chest, because that's the L that has almost crippled my career. And speaking about it is the only therapy that I know of that can turn into something whereby we say we're able to move forward. So now that song has been recorded, it's done. I recorded it yesterday. I'm gonna get it sometime later on today. Hey man, if you wanna pick an ear, bro, I might just throw it over, bro, so you can get some of that soothing. You feel me? But I've gotten that off my chest, and I feel so much lighter. And the tape is finished in terms of writing. I've written everything. I know where it's going. It's also very beautiful. It's touching, but at the same time, it's a positioning tape. I titled it Ready Player 3. And I titled it that because, again, running into the direction of my stereotypes that I've heard. A lot of people say my music sounds a lot like Aries or sounds a lot like Nasty C. And those are player 1 and player 2 in the industry right now. Or that's how at least they were that's how they were portrayed. They were portrayed as a player 1 or player 2, and they've been running the game since. So this is a positioning tape that says, hey, player 3 has connected the joystick. So it's a tape filled with bars. It's filled with hood knowledge. It's filled with harmonic sounds. A battle with spirituality, or let me say, a battle with trying to get closer to spirituality, because I'm a spiritual and I'm trying to move closer into accepting myself as an African child. And it's a tape that just encompasses those conversations. And it's not that long. I think we're looking at about, I can't remember now, like 14 tracks or whatever. No, it wasn't 14. Sorry, yeah, I'm crazy. It was like 7 tracks or something. And I'm hoping to drop that sometime in the winter, because it's really a listen. It's not a party joint. If you're a person who really wants to know how my intellect works, I want to know what's really happening in between my ears and behind my nose, then this is the tape that's going to open your eyes to that, just to get a glimpse of what it might feel like to and offload the interest in. So that's what the tape is about. And then, yeah, man, I'm hoping to drop more stuff, man. I'm not seeing you that are gonna come your way. There's a song with Super School I'm working on. I don't know if you know Super from the hood. One of the hottest Amapiano DJs. Like, I don't know, man. That nigga, hands down, is probably one of the hottest. So I got a song I was supposed to record with him yesterday as well, but we got so wrapped up into the one we were doing that we didn't have enough time to jump on his beat. But I wanted to, like, it's probably the first time you'll even hear about this if he watches this live. But I wanted to surprise him with a joint. It's like, you gave me a beat. There's the joint, and it's a very interesting joint because it's obviously I'm a piano heavy, but I didn't care, bro. I jumped onto it with my rap prowess, and it sounded kind of dope. So I wanted to hear that on the mic. Hopefully, sometime this week I'll be in studio again and we'll record that. But yeah, there's a lot of music on the way, guys. I'm gonna try my best. Also, I want you guys to hold me to it, Baba. Put your foot on my neck on the comments, bro. Like, I need to give you guys this, and it's hard for me to give you guys this because as a creative, nothing is ever finished. Nothing is ever perfect for me, and I'm big on being a perfectionist. So sometimes I listen to it 1,000 times and I'm like, this is not good. And then it dies. I don't know how many songs have gone that route where I listen to it, and I'm like, nah. And then it dies in the vault. So I'm avoiding that. 2025, nothing is going in the vault. Everything that I work on is going to the streets. The least anyone can ever do for me is just give it a listen. If you vibe with it, share it with a friend. That's really all I'm asking of anybody. Because I mean, my psychology, when I see the numbers go up, it makes me feel like, okay, sharp, fun, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I love doing the work I do, but seeing those numbers go up makes me feel like, you know what I mean? Shout out. People are showing the love back. I mean, it's even better when you leave a comment and you say something or whatever the case might be. But yeah, so that's what's happening, bro. Just be on the lookout for the single. Oh, that single, bro, it's beautiful. I can't wait to bump it all day long today. And it's coming out. It's gonna be really, really fire. Hey, shout out to Jay Flash. I see you. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, man. Wait for the day that we wrap it up, my nigga. Wait for the day that we wrap it up.
Wait for the day.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. I think what I just said was supposed to be my word for the day. Now I must think of a new word for the day. Okay, word
Oh,
for the day. Word for the day. Like I said, Mfethu, the scars on our faces, the scars on our
mm,
backs, those things don't make us weak. They don't make us less important. Um, use them to your advantage. They build character.
mm.
Some of the biggest, some of the baddest, some of the greats have the biggest scars on their backs. And I say that because, again, when you listen to that single, you understand that I am a person recovering from one of the biggest scars I've ever had to face. And I didn't think I'd ever recover. I didn't think I'd ever show my face on No Lives No More. I didn't think I'd ever step into a studio again. But here I am doing that, and I'm doing I'm doing that with my head held as high as possible, because L's are for everybody. We can all take them. The least we can do is learn from them, grow from them. But as long as the sun comes up, we get up, we shake it off, and we keep moving. And I'm just calling out to everyone who's just going through something as well. Like, take that with you if you don't take anything else from this interview. Other than that, that's all I have to say. That's my word of the day.
Yo, shout outs to you, AJ, for pulling through and giving us time. Just a
Of course,
conversation
man.
that we have, Pandaf. I mean, it's full of enlightenment. Understand? And hopefully, and I know that a lot of people who are watching this interview and who are gonna still watch this interview, because I'm gonna post it up and tag you, my
Yeah.
brother, will be inspired, Jayami. And please don't forget AJ's announcement. If you wanna work with him, highlight him, follow him, and send him a DM. Say Be Happy Live Central. Slash AJ. Yeah, then
Yes, sir.
he will put you through the announcement, what's going on, what he has to offer for you in order for you to build your brand, build yourself, and be visibly viable out there and really make money, doing shit. You understand? You understand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
so this is the
Yes,
Happy
sir.
Central Live Show, episode 10. How about the chapter too? I'd really like to thank him for closing up the chapter. Now we're heading to episode 11 with Cares later on. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Yo, AJ, have a beautiful Sunday, my brother. One love.
Yes, sir, man.
Deserve.
One love, my dog.
Love, one love. Yo, thank you to everybody who was watching. If you haven't followed us, please do share, because there's more upcoming exclusive episodes that we're gonna still have to host, and making sure that you are given the right advice, given the right, hope, in order for you to keep pushing, keep living meaningful and with purpose. It's happy with the V, because the V stands for peace. We are high, visual, passionate people, and young. So hashtag, that's why we say, be happy. Have a beautiful Sunday. One love.